Welcome to 60-Second Real Estate, where I talk about all things real estate related. And today, I'm going to talk to you about how to get your house sold for the most amount of money in the least amount of time. Ready, set, let's go. So you want to get your house sold, but you don't know what to do. What's the first step? What do I need to do to make the most money? How does any of this work? Well, let me tell you right now. Step number one is to, talk to me. I can tell you what your house is worth. We do what's called a CMA, a competitive market analysis, to see what the value is, and then we can go over some details on whether or not you need to buy a house. Maybe this was an investment property, you can just sell it like that. Maybe you're gonna go and try to find a rental, so you know what options it is moving forward, and then with the listing process, you complete some documentation. We create a marketing plan, which includes social media, such as organic and paid, and then we also do old school, such as snail mail and flyering and door knocking, in order to get as much exposure to your house as possible. And then, we execute on it in terms of putting the house on the market, doing certain procedures once it's on the market, and then good negotiations between us and the buyer's agent in terms of getting what's best for you, whether it's a timeline, whether it's the most amount of money, whether it's inspections or no inspections. It really depends on what's best for you and your future. And then, your house is sold. And you can move forward with your life and be in a much better opportunity than you are today. Now, this is the short answer. If you want the long answer, continue to watch. I'm gonna break this down for you piece by piece by piece. So, step one, you wanna sell your house. You reach out to me. We complete that competitive market analysis. How that works is we go and look at other comparable houses within your neighborhood. Sometimes it's literally your neighborhood, the own street. Sometimes you've got to go a little farther. Maybe it's a mile, 2, 3, 4, 5 out, depending on the circumstances. Now, these comparables have to be similar to your house. We can't compare a 2-story house to a single story, and we can't compare a rancher to a beach house. It all has to be very similar. Again, we're trying to see what the market allows in terms of price. Another way to look at this is if you've ever been on eBay, right, and you want to see what things are selling for. Let's talk about a PlayStation 4. We really need to know what your PlayStation 4 is selling for, right? Not an Xbox, not a Wii, not a Nintendo Switch, but your specific PlayStation 4. So we look in the memories, we look at the age, what's selling with the console. It's the same thing with a house. We talk about those features, a fence, a pool, square footage, acreage. All of those similarities really determine what the house can sell for, and we look and see what has sold, not what is currently listed for the market. While seeing what those current houses are listed for is helpful in terms of creating a marketing plan, we can't use that in terms of comparables for actual CMA, because at the end of the day, if your house you're selling has an appraisal contingency, which it typically will if it's being financed, they're only gonna base those appraisal prices off of what is actually sold and not just what's under contract or what a specific house is listed for. So now we got that CMA. What's next? Me and you are gonna meet. We're gonna go over that CMA and we're gonna go over the marketing plan of what we really need to do to get your house sold. Again, it talks about organic. So it's gonna be things like Facebook, Instagram, my TikTok, our Facebook page, both on the business side and again, my personal one. That's people who see me, who know my brand locally and nationwide. And then there's paid advertisement through social media. So that's Facebook, that's Instagram, that's Google. That's something, dare I say, almost masters at. It can't be perfect at everything. It is something that we do really, really well. And we can target specific people. We can target really people that are perfect for potentially buying your house. Again, we're trying to get as many eyes on your house as possible. And then we do what I call is old school, right? We do snail mail. We'll send out postcards to local neighbors. We'll go flyer your neighborhood. We'll do door knocking. The reason we do that is most people statistically move less than 5 miles from where they currently live. So your potential buyer could be your next door neighbor. It could be somebody down the block or somebody in the next town over. So we need to let them know that your house is on the market. And then obviously we do a whole bunch of other things in terms of marketing, but that's something we can talk about in person. Once we do that, you're gonna sign documentation. The first thing is that exclusive right to list. That allows me to actually list your price. It talks about the purchase price, how long we're gonna work together, commissions, what you're gonna sell with the house. That is the big document on the listing side. And then we'd have disclosures. This is everything you know about the house. The first one's called a seller's disclosure, has about 150 questions on it. It's a lot. So if you've been bored at night and you're trying to go to bed, that might be something to start. Talks about, again, everything with the house, any damages, anything you've done to improve, the plumbing, if there's ever been a cat and dog. You fill that out to the best of your knowledge. There's 2 other ones, lead-based paint, any information you know about lead paint or lead piping in the house. The second is radon, which is a radioactive gas that happens naturally when rocks decay. Once the documentation is signed, go and list your house. Typically, we list on a Thursday to get as many buyers' eyes on the house as possible that first weekend, including out-of-state buyers, because when are they gonna come in? The weekend, not the middle of the week, and because that first weekend really tends to make or break if a house is gonna sell quickly or not. We'll also start doing those digital marketing things we talked about, the old school marketing things. We also may conduct an open house in which we invite the public to come out and take a peek. This can be very helpful, especially when agents are busy and they want to make sure that their clients can go see your house, but they may not have availability to, well, show it themselves. And by hosting an open house, they're able to make sure that the client can come, but at the same time, they're not afraid that another agent's gonna steal their client. That's how open houses work. Once we get offers on the table, I'll present all of them to you. And we'll go over the terms piece by piece by piece to see which is best for you, whether it's inspection contingencies, financial contingencies, how much the purchase price is, or any miscellaneous things like that for really what is gonna put you in the best situation possible. If you agree to the terms and/or we go and do a counter back and forth between us and the buying side, you go on a contract, it's ratified. Congratulations, your house is about to get sold. Typically, the contract process from start to finish is about 45 days. And that time period, there's two main things you need to worry about. The first is the inspections. If there is an inspection contingencies, inspectors will come and take a peek at the house. Anything that's listed as a major defect on those inspection reports, you as the seller are obligated to fix. Now, I know that's frustrating. However, again, that's what's in the contract, and that's one of the things we'll talk about when we get those offers on the table. Last thing is the appraisal contingency. An appraiser is going to come out, similar like when I did, and really attempt to understand the value of the house. So do comparables, just like when I completed the CMA, to really get the price of what the appraiser believes the house should be priced at, which is why we do that CMA in the beginning. Those are the two big things you need to worry about as the home seller. If everything's clean, we'll go to settlement and you'll be able to sell your house. That's essentially the listing process from start to finish, as simplistic as I can make it. I'm here to answer questions and be of service to you.